Did you know that Ron Howard, one of Hollywood's most beloved filmmakers, has kept a decades-long silence about his connection with the late Jim Nabors? In a rare and heartfelt moment, Howard has finally opened up about the man behind Gomer Pyle, sharing never-before-heard reflections that reveal just how deep their bond ran. Stay with us until the end, because what Ron says about Jim's legacy and the quiet influence he had on Ron's own journey might surprise you. Ron Howard first met Jim Nabors on the set of The Andy Griffith Show, where both were part of a cast that would go on to shape American television history. Ron, just a child at the time, played Opie Taylor, while Jim portrayed the hilariously lovable Gomer Pyle. Their characters had very different roles, but off-camera, Jim had a quiet warmth that left a lasting impression on young Ron. Jim was gentle, thoughtful, and full of kindness, Howard recalled in a recent interview, even when the cameras weren't rolling. Although Nabors was best known for his comedy, Howard remembers a deeper side to him, one rarely seen by the public. As Ron describes, Jim often went out of his way to lift the spirits of the crew, especially the kids. He'd sing between takes, sometimes just hum, sometimes full opera. I didn't realize until I was older just how gifted he was, not only as a comedian, but as a singer, and more importantly, as a person. Ron admitted that Jim's humility taught him something essential, that you don't have to be loud to have a powerful impact. For years, Howard stayed quiet about Nabors' influence, not out of neglect, but respect. I think I kept it to myself, because it was so personal. But after revisiting old footage and reflecting on his early career, he decided it was time to speak out. Especially now, in a time when the entertainment world feels increasingly fast and transactional, Howard believes Nabors' example of kindness and authenticity is more important than ever. He had no ego, no edge, just heart, Ron said. One moment Ron shared stands out among the rest. There was a day I was having a tough time memorizing lines. I must have been about 7 or 8, he said. Jim knelt down, looked me in the eye, and said, "You're doing fine, Opie. You just breathe and take your time." I never forgot that. It was a small gesture, but for a nervous child actor, it made a world of difference. Looking back, Howard said that was one of the first times he truly understood the value of grace under pressure. As Jim Nabors' legacy continues to live on through countless reruns and recordings, Ron Howard's tribute brings a much-needed human touch to the story of a man who was often underestimated. Jim gave the world laughter, but he gave me a sense of calm, Ron said. He never tried to be a star. He just showed up and made people feel better. That's the kind of man I'll always remember. And as Howard's words circulate today, fans around the world are being reminded that sometimes, the quietest voices leave the loudest echoes. In finally breaking his silence, Ron Howard hasn't just honored Jim Nabors, he's reminded us all of the quiet power of kindness, of staying true to yourself, and of the enduring influence of those who lead by example, not spotlight. So the next time you see Gomer Pyle on screen, remember that behind that goofy grin was a man whose light touched even the brightest stars of Hollywood.